Top story of the day, Flesh and Blood 2.0 is here, the community loses their minds, and SpaceX is going to the moon. Wait, scratch that. Sorry, LSS print runs are said to be going to the moon. Will they come safely back down to Earth, or will they remain in orbit? All this and more on today's episode of Flesh and Blood News. Let's begin. Legend Story Studios creator James White didn't so much as have a gradual ramp-up as he had hoped from the game's inception. Instead, the game took off more like a SpaceX launch. Through the year of 2019 and even into 2020 and beyond, the game exploded in popularity, with many LGSs picking up the game for their local crowds. Collectors alike, and with everybody living in a COVID world, it was always exciting to look for new and fun things to do while stuck at home in your own groups. Collectibles were a source of joy for much in the dark times and the unheard of demand for products not even in just TCGs such as Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, and sports cards, but many other collectibles like Funko Pops and Gundams of all things. It exploded in popularity during this time as well, resulting in many unintended consequences. But was it really LSS's fault that demand took off like a Falcon 9 rocket into the night? No, I don't think so. The Flesh and Blood 2.0 announcement today was a roller coaster for many folks, and while the videos today will not go into those articles in detail, if you like, share, and subscribe and hit that bell icon, the follow-up to this video will go in depth in the 2.0 article that was released. Needless to say, overall, after watching many hours of content creators' reactions and many posts in Discord, Facebook groups alike, the 2.0 announcement was received very well by players. However, not so well with some of the collectors and whales. Farewell, Shiana! Bye-bye, Skullcap, and nevermore, dearest Crunic, nay, move aside for the newest and dullest legendaries in the land of flesh and blood, the FAB U9! Trademark pending. Just kidding. Similar to the Unlimited Power 9, now in white border for even more accessibility and games coming to a store near you. The 12 legendary synths that were printed in the first 3 sets, Welcome to Wraith, Arcane Rising, and Crucible of War, 9 were chosen are coming out in a new set. We can only assume that of the 2 tunics, the Crunic will get the axe, and the Skullcap was just reprinted in Everfest, so most likely it is out as well. Last on the list, and probably sadly but most understandable, would be Shiana. This leaves the other remaining 9 slots open for the out-of-print legendary cards that are needed for players to remain in certain classes. 2.0 in any game typically spells the end for that game. A prime example is Mage Knights, which had a huge downswing after the 2.0 announcement. Prior figures were technically incompatible with your new set, which sadly turned off a lot of collectors and players, and including myself, from playing 2.0. X-Wing is another good example. When you went from 1.0 to 2.0, this made the cardboard technically obsolete, so you had to buy a new set of cardboard in order to play the game. Another game called War Machine did something similar, where they restructured the points and cards, so they required you to basically keep your figurines, which were painted and hopefully beautiful, but you did need to have paper cards in order to basically play the new version. So not as bad, but not the best. Now, Flesh and Blood did neither of these. Wait for it. Oh, no. I'll sit here. I'll wait. They did none of these. No banning of heroes. Nothing from 1.0 saying, sorry, these 2.0 heroes are not for you. You must play with our 2.0 heroes. Likewise, let's address the Rhinar Spring Tunic in the room. Star Wars Customizable Card Game is a good example where sets came in 2 flavors, limited black edition borders and unlimited, which was white border. And for the first few sets, this was sustainable, until they realized it wasn't working, such as how LSS has actually removed first edition. But if you read really closely between the lines, they actually retired unlimited, replacing it with a single set encompassing all of the neat treatments from each of the first edition and unlimited sets, combining both into one uniformly interesting, more complex and interesting overall set dynamic. Growing pains are hard, and it clearly shows that LSS is willing to move the goalpost to make this game a success. Flesh and Blood really didn't go away from a first edition and unlimited model like you might think, but in essence, instead of retiring first editions, think of it like they retired unlimited. They kept the cold foils and combined the unlimited rainbow foils, so now that there's one SKU, which makes it actually more easy for game stores to order and prevents hoarding, which will be good when we can say that the days of, oh no, I only have 5 of these, but I've sold them, and in the back room I have 20 more, but I'm going to sell them to somebody at 3x MSRP. Those days are hopefully behind us. 2019 and 2020 was certainly an odd year, but in many ways it was a black swan event where most of us, I can't even recall how we managed to make it through what we did. As we emerge into the new world in Flesh and Blood 2.0, I for one look forward to the amazing world of unique opportunities that are coming. I really hope that others can see the free tendy mindset is gone. There are other games that you can try that with. But, however, Flesh and Blood is a great game, and it's insightful, and the gameplay and the collectability is here. I, for one, am very stoked, and I will continue to collect, sell singles, and be around for a long time, and I am very excited to collect the brand new FAB U9. And until next time, may your stripes be blue and your pitch stack be in your memory. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and I appreciate you, so see you later. Top story of the day, Flesh and Blood 2.0 is here. The community loses their mind and SpaceX is going to the moon. Wait, I have no mouse.